I am trying something different on this video. And the title I want to give is Christological Hebrew. And we'll be looking at Isaiah chapter 52, verse 13. This begins that fourth servant song. Isaiah has four. And in this text, it is my conviction that it basically is fulfilled in Christ, because Israel suffers for her own sins double in Babylon. But this is a sufferer who was innocent. He who knew no sins became sin for us, and he was bruised for our iniquities, and so forth. So I would like to read one short verse and talk about it grammatically, interpretationally, with New Testament application. It reads, Hine yaskil abdi, yarum benisa begava ma'od. Behold, my servant shall prosper. He shall be raised, he shall be lifted up, and he shall be exceedingly high. Just a bit of grammar. Yaskil is a hifil imperfect, third masculine singular from the root sakal. You have an A-I vowel pattern with the pathak and the hirik yod, indicative of a hifil imperfect. And then yarum, he shall be raised, is from the middle weak verb rum. It's a kal imperfect, third masculine singular from rum. Venisa, he shall be raised, he shall be lifted up. The root is nasa, and here we have the noon of the root having assimilated into the sin by progressive assimilation. And so that noon prefix is indicating a nifal. So we're looking at a nifal perfect, third masculine singular from nasa. And the vav turns it over and puts it into the future. He shall be raised, he shall be lifted up, v'gavah ma'od, and he shall be high exceedingly. Gavah is the kal perfect, third masculine singular from gavah, and exceedingly is me'od. So we're looking in the New Testament at Jesus, who was raised in the resurrection. He acted wisely, not my will, but yours be done, Father, and he prospered in his atoning work. And he shall be raised, looking at the resurrection. Secondly, he shall be lifted up, looking at the exaltation, the ascension, I should say, and then he shall be exceedingly high. Jesus is seated at the right hand of God the Father. It is also interesting that the Septuagint of this text reads with two different verbs instead of three. It says, behold, my servant shall understand, and hupsothesetai, he shall be raised, and doxasthesetai sphadra, he shall be glorified exceedingly. Here we have your future indicative passive, third person singular from hupsao, and doxasthesetai from doxazo, your future indicative passive, third person singular. It is interesting that the two verbs here summarize the three in Hebrew, hupsao and doxazo. And in John chapter 3, it reads, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man, hupsothenai, be lifted up. Same verb is used there. If I be lifted up, I will draw all to me. In John chapter 12, hupsao is used. And then as far as glorification, when Judas went out to betray the Lord said, "Now is the Son of Man glorified." And he uses the word doxazo in John. And in the high priestly prayer of Christ, "Glorify me, Father," same, using the word doxazo, "glorify me with the glory that I had with you from the foundation of the world." And so passion is the root to glory. And those two words are used only in John to define what Jesus accomplishes. We see a great Christological moment in Isaiah 52, verse 13, and we see its fulfillment in the New Testament in the book of John.